why I chose what I chose, and I guess you could call this doing it on the cheap. Welcome to the Drunk Linux User. I'm Len. I'm the Drunk Linux User. And as I said in my last video, today I was going to talk about the peripherals that I chose for me. Okay, I need to go over some things to make sure that everybody knows that, first of all, I'm not bragging and I'm not being paid or compensated. I'm not endorsing anything, so I'm not promoting any of this stuff. So with that crap out of the way, there were certain things that I needed, and the first thing that I had to do is I had to research. I had to find out, okay, I know I need this, but my first consideration, because this is all about Linux, was will it work with Linux? So I did the digging and I found that some of the things I wanted wouldn't work, which was kind of a bummer because they're really good. And other things definitely could, but you might have to use a little bit of tweaking, which didn't really bother me because it wasn't that big of a deal. It wasn't like I had to sit and write code or anything. So do your research, make sure that it'll work with Linux, and then decide really what do you need, because there are so many toys and so many, flashy ads and all this other stuff out there. You can go on YouTube and people are going to say, oh, well, if you're going to do a YouTube thing, you're going to need to have all these box lights and all this other stuff. Or maybe, you're going to need to. It's all what you can do with what you've got. Okay. So let's get over here and let's start the process. First thing, I use this camera. Well, I actually use a C920. They didn't have the S, and I think the difference between mine and this one is the little shutter thing that comes down, but I bought one anyway and put it on there. And a lot of this that I purchased, I would say about 3/4 of what I purchased was with the intent of using it with an older Acer laptop. The other thing I need to let you know is I'm not rich, so I can't go out and afford, a nice Canon EOS or a Rebel or whatever and have the nice 4K video. But I wanted to have something that people really did think was a good camera. And as you can see on this, well, at least through the Logitech site, it's got 4.5 stars. Well, you do a little research, you find out, well, this little bugger right here, a lot of people use it. They think it's really great. And it does the job. I mean, I can do 1080p at 30 frames per second. Would I like to have better? You betcha I would. But this works. I'm doing these videos, and unless you have a complaint, I don't think you really want to see my mug at 4K anyway. So let's move on. For microphone, I chose this guy right here. Now, I don't know where else you can find it. I tried finding it through their website, and no way. But it does come with that little stand. What I did was I used the ring light stand to use for my phone. I just took the adapters and moved things around. I put the ring light on a lighting stand. It's a small one, but it sets off over to the side over there, and it just kind of peeks over my other monitor. We'll get to that one in a minute. But what I liked about this particular microphone was the price for sure. I didn't have to spend $100 or better trying to get like a Blue Yeti, which are, I guess, really nice. But I also went and bought these little foam pop shields that go over the top of it, and it seems to have very good quality. When I'm listening to the show through my headphones, it sounds really good and clear. It is sensitive, so you have to be a little bit careful about when things are running outside, like the air conditioners or people talking in the other room. It will pick that stuff up, but it's really nice, really clear. It's USB and it works. So for that price, you can't complain. Speaking of the ring light, this is the guy, and this may even be the seller I got it from. And by the way, I'm not promoting any sellers either. But this offers you different lighting controls. Let me get over here, show you what I mean by that. And so this is, ugh, that's even more ugh. But that works out pretty good. Again, not expensive. And that's the stand I'm using for the microphone, by the way. If I want to, I can put my phone on there and do some recordings. It is USB powered, so I don't have to worry about another wall plug. I did have to kind of every once in a while mess around with if I need an extra USB port. I'll pull this one out because I don't use it all the time. But it works. It fills in the gaps on the quality that I needed to be able to produce a video. As far as printers are concerned, I bought this with the Acer as well, and it's a good solid little printer. Bought it for about maybe $50-$55 over at Walmart, okay? And the only thing is that the cartridges, if you want to buy the twin packs, are about $15 more than what I paid for the printer. But several things to consider here. First of all, it has a great scanner. Second of all, the printing is really, really nice, and so I don't mind spending a little extra money on the ink. And thirdly, it works right out of the box with Linux. So again, this is a win-win. I do sublimation work, making t-shirts, hats, and all that kind of stuff. I took this EcoTank ET2720 on sale. Again, I think I bought this one actually through Amazon, but regardless. And I got sublimation inks. I saved the ink from the original because you can't use that for sublimation. I put the sublimation inks in the special bottles that come with it and started running right away. It works with Linux. There's a print driver available for it, so all of this lined up perfectly. Talked about tablets the other day. You can see, for example, on Ubuntu and a lot of different Debian-based distributions that you can set up a Wacom tablet with it. Okay, well, Wacoms are really, really nice. They're also really, really expensive. This guy has high marks, works with Linux. You can see up here in the upper right this little blue icon. I'll just show you. See right here. Look at it jerking around. Anyway, it's right there. You can program what you want. You can set your working area. Look at that. Me and my wife. And $65. Okay. And it draws beautifully. I really, really like this tablet. Is it a Wacom? No. Is it even the top of the line of the Huions? No, not by any stretch of the imagination. Does it work? Yes. Does it fit the bill? Yes. Was it cheap? You better believe it, buddy. Okay, now I also have a set of headphones. So these I bought before I even had I think I bought these when I had the Acer. And I don't think you can even get them anymore, to be honest with you. But they have good tonal quality. They're relatively cheap. I think these cost around $30-$35 or something when I bought mine. But what I liked about this in particular was that it had two different kinds of jack systems. One, you can hook it up using the little mini, and then you've got the 1/4-inch jack right there that you can just screw on and plug into your stereo system if you just want to play your albums or your tapes or listen to TV or something through the stereo. None of this was highly expensive, but it allows me to do the work. So try to get the best price with shipping that you can get. You'll find that, for example, eBay will allow you to sort by free shipping. Well, free shipping typically means that the shipping price is really added into the price, but sometimes you can get much better deals that way. So I'm not gonna quibble about that kind of stuff. If it's local, go to the store, buy it there if the price is right. Okay. And the other thing that I've heard other people get a little bit concerned about is, I don't want to buy anything from Amazon or eBay or using Microsoft Edge all buzzed up. Nah, I'm just kidding. But these, they're worried about promoting the, making the oligarchs, the big guys, all rich and powerful. If you're not spending that much money, then you're not helping them out at all. Not really. Okay. One of the things that you have to consider is, well, actually, there's two things I want you to consider on this. First of all, if you use this product that you're going to buy, can you get your money back out of it? For example, if you make 10 YouTubes using the Logitech Pro, and all of a sudden you get endorsements and you get maybe, because this was what, $70. Say you make $150 off of it just by talking about somebody's soft drink or whatever it is. Well, the camera's paid for itself, right? May have even paid for the microphone and maybe a couple of other things that you needed to do as well. So if you can get the money back out of it, then maybe you can become the oligarch. Just kidding. Not really. Okay, so the other thing I want to talk about is get what you can afford and what you actually need. Okay, and do not go into hock for any of this stuff. If somebody's guaranteed you a contract that says, I'm going to pay you X amount of dollars over a period of time, then maybe if you have to do an upgrade or something like that, then it might be worth what I would consider to be the risk involved in taking it, because things come, things go. But if you're doing this as just starting out, like I was talking about in the last video, where if you're trying to express your passion, whether it be visual, audio, by the written word, or whatever you're doing with this, then you want to make sure that you don't owe anybody. You want to do this on your own. Okay. You can later on down the line, if somebody says, okay, we're going to give you this great flashy camera, we want you to use it with all your videos, we want you to advertise for it, great. If you didn't have to pay for it, by all means, take it. So not only can you get your money back out of it, if you're not doing this to try to get compensation out of anything you're doing, but you're just doing it for the love of it, does it satisfy that requirement too? Are you getting the full enjoyment out of everything that you're using? I'm going to tell you, there is one thing that I wish that, let me get back over here. There's one thing that I wish that I would have known wouldn't work too well or at all with Linux, and that's this Cricket. I've got one of these. It's not that color, but it's one of these guys. It works great in Windows, wonderfully, just absolutely smooth, perfect, does the job. Can't get it to run in Linux, so that's a major disappointment. So that's why I still have, well, that's one of the reasons why I still have Windows on my system. I have also Affinity Designer, which helps me create things for t-shirts and whatnot. I use that on Windows because it's not on Linux. Best of both worlds, I suppose, but it would be the best of all worlds if I could get all this stuff over onto Linux. But there you go. You have to make some, this is what I was saying yesterday, you have to make some compromises. Well, this is one of those compromises. I have the equipment, it does work, but sometimes I have to go back and forth between two different distributions to make it work. For example, the sublimation printer will work on Linux, but I can't find a program that'll allow me to design, like I wish Inkscape would, that will print out in CMYK. Cyan, yellow, magenta, black. Well, Affinity Designer and Windows will. So I'm just going to say, Try to be smart about your purchases. Get what you need as you need them. Don't trust, just don't say, well, I'm going to get all this stuff and I'm going to be a star, or I'm going to be the next Picasso, or I'm going to be the next Ernest Hemingway, or whatever. Okay? Get what you need as you need it. Do your research. Make sure you can afford it. And then have fun. Create some amazing stuff. And we'll leave this on our words of wisdom. Don't drive drunk. Don't drink and drive. Don't go to Amazon, eBay, or MSS all buzzed up. Be sober. Be sober when you do this. In the meantime, bottoms up. Later, dudes.